You ever look up at a massive skyscraper and just wonder, how does that whole thing stay together? And I'm not just talking about the big steel beams, but everything inside it. Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden rules of construction, the rules that make sure a building doesn't just stand, but works perfectly for decades.
So, what's the real secret? Is it some super strong concrete, the latest high-tech gadget? Actually, the answer is a lot more fundamental and, a lot more interesting than that. It turns out the real foundation of quality isn't something you can even see. It comes down to 3 invisible rules. These are the core principles that every pipe, every wire, every single piece of equipment relies on. Okay, let's dive into this.
So our first rule is all about precision, and it starts way before the first wall ever goes up. It's about taking that perfect plan on paper and translating it into the real world without even a millimeter of error.
In Japan, they have a name for this process, sumidashi. It's this incredibly meticulous craft of drawing the exact position for every single thing, every wall, every electrical outlet, every pipe, directly onto the floors and surfaces of the site.
The best way to picture it is like this. If the blueprint is the building's genetic code, then sumidashi is the process of mapping that DNA right onto the skeleton. It literally dictates where everything's going to live and how it all connects.
And this isn't just random marking. It's incredibly systematic. It's a hierarchy. It all starts with one single master reference line for the entire building. They call it the parent mark. From that one line, marks are extended to each floor. And from those marks, every tiny detail in every single room is drawn, which means that very first line has to be absolutely 100% perfect.
Because get this, an error of just a few millimeters at the very beginning can explode into a massive problem 10 floors up. A pipe that's slightly off-center won't connect. A wall in the wrong spot? It has to be torn down. Getting this first rule right prevents this huge, costly domino effect of mistakes.
All right, on to rule number 2. This is all about fighting the invisible forces that are constantly trying to pull a building apart from the inside. We're talking about the unseen support system that holds the whole shebang together.
Just think about it for a second. Every pipe and duct inside a building is under constant stress. You've got gravity, right? Relentlessly pulling down on the equipment. You have the intense pressure of water or air rushing through them. And then you have external forces, like vibrations from machinery, or even something as serious as an earthquake. Without the right support, failure isn't a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Now, this creates a really critical balancing act for the engineers. If they use too little support, they're risking leaks, breaks, total disaster. But if they go overboard and use too much, they're just wasting materials, time, and a ton of money.
So how do you find that perfect sweet spot? Well, it's not guesswork. The solution is just to follow the engineering specifications exactly. Those documents spell out the precise type of support and the exact spacing needed to create a system that is both incredibly strong and perfectly efficient.
Our third and final rule might sound super simple, but its impact on cost and quality is absolutely huge. It's about a choice every builder has to make. Are you going to plan ahead, or are you going to deal with the problems later?
So look, every single pipe, wire, and duct has to pass through concrete walls and floors. The smart way to do this is to plan for these pathways ahead of time. You just place a simple tube, called a sleeve, into the form before the concrete is ever poured. The hard way is to come back later and try to drill a massive hole through solid, cured concrete. One way is clean, cheap, and planned. The other is crazy expensive, destructive, and totally reactive.
And this really gets to the heart of the matter. The biggest wins, the most serious cost savings, they don't happen because people are working faster on the construction site. No way. They come from smart collaboration way back in the design phase. Planning where every single hole needs to go is a perfect example of this.
So we've covered precise markings, balanced supports, and planned openings. Let's tie it all together and see what the real foundation of a great building actually is.
What do all 3 of these rules have in common? It's one word: foresight. Getting the marks right from day one prevents having to redo work later. Calculating the right support ensures safety for life. And planning the sleeves? That saves a ton of money. It's all about getting those early steps exactly right. And really, that's the ultimate takeaway here. These spectacular buildings we all admire aren't just the result of some grand vision. Their true quality is built on a foundation of intense discipline, a focus on getting the simple, fundamental, and usually invisible details absolutely perfect right from the start.
Kinda makes you think, doesn't it? Beyond just buildings, what other parts of our world are held together by these unseen principles? By a quiet commitment to getting the fundamentals right? What are the invisible rules that are shaping the world around you?